Everyone, welcome back to the channel. So we've had our camper for over 5 years and 140 or so trips, and it finally happened. We had to change a tire on the side of the road and it wasn't that fun. So that's the second time I've had to change a flat. The other time was super easy. It happened when we were leaving for a trip. During my pre-trip, I saw that the tire was down and it had a nail in it, and we changed it easily, but it was not on the side of the road. And this time it was. So we were coming home from Nashville. It's coming up 65, and we're driving down the road, and we have the TST 507 tire pressure monitor, and it started alarming. So I have the low pressure set on this at 75 pounds. So when it got to 75, it set an alarm off. So I knew something was going on. So I was able to reach up and see which tire it was, and when I saw it, it was the left front. And it was at 74 pounds, and then 73 and 72. So I was looking ahead to try to figure out where to pull over, like an easy spot to pull off. Pulled off on the side of the highway, got out and checked it. This is going down, so I knew that something was going on with the tire, of course. So I got out to check it, and as I walked back to the tire, like, traffic's crazy. It's on Route 65, and get back to I could kind of hear the air coming out of the tire when I got back there, and it was luckily, I mean, saving grace a little bit. It was just the valve stem. It wasn't really the tire, but something happened where the valve stem meets the rim, and I put a little pressure on it. It would stop leaking, but as soon as I let go, it was leaking. So I knew I had to change it, right? So I thought, we got it changed. We got down the road. We got everything's good. So I thought, well, let's shoot a video on the stuff that I use, that we carry, to help me change the tire on the side of the road and get us to a safer spot, that type of thing. And so that's what this video is about. So we have the 507 TST. 4 years ago we bought that, took it on a trip to Georgia. That's like our first trip. It's been 4 years. I don't know how many tens of thousands of miles probably. I have kind of a pet peeve with YouTubers that buy a product and then they review it immediately. So I shot a whole video on that when we first got it, and I was like, oh, this is a great product, and it does this and it does all this stuff, but I never tested it, right? So now 4 years later, I can tell you that it's an awesome product. It did let us know that the tire was going down. It probably saved the tire, probably potentially saved us an insurance claim if that tire was to shred and tear up the camper or whatever happened. So I can tell you that it's a great product. We've used it for over 4 years. It does a great job. There's a new, this is the old one, I guess maybe the original one. They have a different monitor now. It's more of a touch screen. So when you buy one, hopefully, that you'll get the new monitor with it. So that was kind of the MVP of the trip, that let us know that there was a problem. We pulled over, we could deal with the problem. So the rest of this are the things I carry to change a tire on the side of the road, that type of thing. So the other MVP of the trip is this. This is the Milwaukee. It's the M18 Mid-Torque. It's the 2962. So this is Milwaukee Fuel Mid-Torque, 650 foot-pounds. This is easy to take the lugs off with. That's what I used. I did not use this on the trip, but if you're in the M12 line, so this is a 12 volt, this does 250 foot-pounds. This is their 2555 half-inch drive. So both of those will take the lugs off, no problem at all. So I knew I was going to use this one to take it off. Inside this box, I keep a handful of things, and that's kind of important to this. Everything that you see here, and the way I have my truck kind of packed and ready to roll, is you can get this stuff without having to open a bunch of compartments or getting inside or climbing up in there, any of that stuff. It's all readily available because this is on the side of the road type of stuff. So I carry 3/8 drive toolkits, sockets, that type of thing. I also carry a full half-inch drive kit as well. But for changing a tire on the side of the road, I don't want to get an entire kit out to get the one socket I need. So I bought these extra sockets, just singles, just bought them on Amazon. I have tons of tools. A lot of them are Snap-on tools. I don't carry all that stuff with me. I bought a $10 socket to change the tires on the side of the road, right? So it's an impact socket. It's a 6-point socket. I would recommend getting a 6-point. Okay, this is from Capri Tools. They make some decent tools. It's not a Snap-on, but it'll get you, it change your tire in a pinch. So half-inch drive, These are like 10 bucks. This is a 19 millimeter because that's what the lugs are. This one is a 21 millimeter because that's what the spare tire is. So if you don't know your lug size, check it. It might, if it's a 3/4, don't, you know, or if it's a 19, don't buy a 3/4. I guess go out there and actually look at it, know what size it actually is. It's probably not a 3/4, it's a 19. And then our spare, like I said, the 21. So I had both of these. I keep them just like this, and I keep them in this box right inside the compartment. So I was able to grab those super quick. You didn't have to go through a kit and find the one on the that is just right there, right? So I got these, and then I had to jack the camper up, of course. So I bought, a long time ago, this 12-ton bottle jack. Now, some people are going to comment and be like, oh, you don't need a jack. All you need is this trailer A wedge, and you can drive right up on it. And yeah, you can't always do that. That will work sometimes. But when you're on the side of the road, you're not going to choose where that happens typically. So you want a tool or product, whatever, that will work 100% of the time. And that's what this will do. If you have that trailer A jack, that's fine. If you want to use that when you can, but you should have an actual jack for the camper. I just saw, ironically, after we got home last night, someone posted on one of the Grand Design pages, and he's like, help. I just had my first blowout in 5 years owning the camper. Where's the jack at on this? And how do I lift it? Well, obviously this trailer doesn't come with a jack to lift that. So you shouldn't be in 5 years in and not know how to change a tire and have the stuff that changes. So anyways, this jack, it's a 12-ton. Not because I needed to lift 12-ton, but the base of it is wider. And then the reason I do that is because as tall as campers are, I use my 8, 6, 7, 8 of these, whatever, put this on here. That gets me the height I need to lift this by the frame. Now someone's going to comment and be like, oh, you can lift it by the axle or by the spring or blah, blah, blah. Yeah, look at your owner's manual and go by that. Whatever your manufacturer recommends, go by that. Our manufacturer tells you not to do that. It tells you to put it on the frame and use that to lift it. So that's what I did. In order to do that, you need some extra height. So I used probably 6 or 7 of these, put the jack on it, raised this up about 1/2 to 3/4 of the way, and then lifted the camper. It was no problem. So yeah, that. So those are the things I used. A couple other things I carry is, you know, everything you have, hopefully maybe you have a backup to a lot of the things. So these go on with me every trip, but I do have a breaker bar as well that I carry. I would say any adult could use a 24-inch breaker bar and break a 100-pound lug with it. It's kind of physics. So just get yourself a breaker bar for, I don't know, 20, 30 bucks or whatever if you can't swing the impact. The other thing I carry is a digital tire pressure gauge. So I use this, of course, on a lot of trips. We carry a compressor. This is the 400P RV. Viair makes this. I have the winterization kit for the camper, so I can turn this down to 25 PSI and winterize it. It comes with this gun. It comes with this hose to get on your tires. And then this is what the compressor looks like. It's a 100% duty cycle. Yes, I said duty. So, and the other thing it has are 2 30-foot coiled hoses, which is perfect for us. Our camper from the front of the truck to the spare tire is 55 feet. So these 2 hoses I can get from the battery, essentially, to the spare tire, no problem at all. So these are kind of expensive. I bought it when we bought the camper. I can't remember. It's probably $300 and some, I think. I'll link it down below along with the rest of this stuff if you're interested in it. It's a great compressor. It's used in the off-road community a lot. So you can see it's been used a lot. So to air the tires up and kind of beat it up a little bit. So the other thing we carry is like a backup, if you want to call it. We obviously have a spare tire on, and I also carry a plug kit. Now this didn't help us in the case we were in because our valve stem was messed up. It wasn't really the tire. So I changed the tire. Andrea looked up a place down the road to, it's like 40 miles up. They said they could change our tire for us. So we did that. I just took it up there and had them change the valve stem, put it back on. But I also carry this in the event that you had 2 flats, you're on a long trip or something like that, or maybe you're driving down the road and both tires pick up a nail, right? That could happen. And so when you're buying a plug kit, buy a nice one. Don't buy the $4 one at TSC or whatever. I mean, will those work on your lawnmower? Yeah, they will. If you try to use one of those on a 10-ply tire, it's not as easy. And you know, so buy the nicer kit. They have the nicer tools. It's not that much money. So those are the things we use for the most part. Basically everything, almost everything I've talked about today, we used yesterday. Now the one thing I haven't talked about is this little, this is called the Magic Creeper. This is probably about, I don't know, maybe 4 feet long. And once you lay it down, it rolls on itself. So it's like a little makeshift creeper. And this was amazing yesterday. They keep this just rolled up and tucked right inside my truck bed. It was like 90-some degrees yesterday. So when I got out and sat down on the ground to change the tire, it was hot. So like this thing kind of helped out a lot. I've had it in there. I've used it quite a bit for just fixing things and putting it on the ground to not get dirty or wet or whatever. But the cool thing was, since I was this far off the road, I kind of laid on this and slid under the camper. That way I was just, my arm was basically outside because the passing traffic was literally 3 or so feet away from where I was. This thing was super nice. I'll link it down below. It's one of those items that you don't have to have it, but it's pretty darn nice if you do have it. So, I'm trying to think, is that everything?
Other than we wanted to talk about who actually fixed the tires.
Oh yeah,
amazing.
Yeah. So I'll put a link up here. I took a picture of their sign, so I'll put it up here on the screen. I think it was called Big O. It was in Bowling Green, Kentucky, and they were super awesome for us. When I was changing the tire, I yelled up to Andrea and I was like, "Hey, try to find a place that's close." So she got on her phone and found this place. Told them what happened, and they're like, "Yeah, give us the size of the tire just in case it's the tire. We'll try to have one ready for you when you get here." So I switched out, put the spare on, drove to their place. They were pretty much waiting on us to get there, and they took the tire in, changed out the valve stem, and then didn't even charge us, which was amazing. Like I didn't expect that and didn't think that would happen, but they didn't even charge us for that. And then we were there maybe a half hour while they changed the tire, or essentially changed the valve stem, and then we got back on the road, and then they didn't even charge us. So huge thanks to them for that. That was awesome. And I'll put their information down here. If you're ever in that area, maybe it'll help you. Who knows? But yeah, huge thanks to them for sure. I think that's it. So this is not a video on how to change a tire. I know Mike Wagner has a great video on how to change a tire. I might link that up here possibly. It's a great video. He did it by the book, by the way. This is how you should do it. So when you watch that video, don't comment and say he did it wrong, because he did it by the book of the camper they had at that time. So that's the thing. You should know your equipment, know how to use it, know what you have it available, that type of stuff. So you guys have any questions about that, let us know. Put it in a comment. If you've had to change a tire on the side of the road, if something was super helpful that you used, drop it down below, and it may help somebody that's watching the video. So thanks for taking the time to watch it. Appreciate it.